Today's rant, if you can see by the title, will obviously be about the feminist argument in video games. Now, I like video games, obviously. I consider myself a nerd, an avid geek, and I play games a lot. In fact, what's on next to me is Grand Theft Auto 5 on my PlayStation. And I've been playing a little bit of Command and Conquer General since my internet's been down as of this video. But it's something that's been bothering me a lot since 2013, but I just never got around to doing it because I don't know, I just didn't feel like getting on this subject because it's a sore subject between everybody. Nobody wants to talk about it, nobody wants to see it, and I wish it would just be go ahead and buried, but I can see now, after flecking away the ignorance in gaming, I can see that sometimes this feminist argument is justified and sometimes it is not. I'm here to talk about that. Now, a while back I got a little intimate into the feminist argument, and I had this argument with one person about how women are being treated in video games. And they got angry at me for some reason. I just said I don't mind how women are treated sometimes. I mean, I too think sometimes women are treated as objects. Objects to be stolen and captured and rinse and repeat. I think that's pretty dumb. We need to stop with that trope. And here's why. I don't think it should be justified anymore, especially since we have women in the military, women in the workforce, women doing a lot of things that their men are doing. So why do we have still have this damsel in distress thing? I mean, it works for a story if you just can't think of anything and just say, oh, we have a princess. Oh, make her get captured over and over again. That'll be the story, basically. Princess gets captured. Heroes goes to save her. The end. That's the story. But is there a time where that's justified and there's a time when it's not? Well, if you look at feminist frequency, it managed to strike a chord with everybody who's a male gamer. Anita and her last name I will not pronounce. I'm sorry, I'm just not feeling good right now, so I don't feel like pronouncing it. That may seem stupid, but here it is. Here's what you need to know. She managed to strike a chord with almost everybody that comes in contact with her channel, and anybody who watches her stuff. Granted, I say if you don't believe in the feminist argument, and if you don't like what she says, go the fuck away, because you're not going to be happy by the end of this video. Into her video, not mine. Probably both, doesn't matter. But anyways, I found her channel maybe a little informative. I'm not the person that's one side or the other. I'm a person who tries to be even with my argument. I say that most of the stuff that she says is true, but most of it is bullcrap. I am not going to go on a whole tantrum just because she says something I don't agree with. She's entitled to her own opinion, and she's shown that she's probably way smarter than I am, even if she's not an avid gamer or even a gamer at the most. She says she's passionate about the medium, but she doesn't like killing things and ripping people's heads off. And I scratch my head at that, and I'm saying that's just not all about medium. That's a stereotype about medium. There are more games out there than God of War, Grand Theft Auto, Mortal Kombat, Battlefield, Call of Duty, any violent game where you take a weapon and beat the hell out of somebody with. I mean, there are more games than that. In fact, the whole damsel in distress argument isn't even a mature game thing. It's more like a Mario thing. And I'm not saying that Mario was the first game to have that in there. It's kind of like a dumbed down kid thing. Like, what would you do to be a hero, little boy? Go save the princess or something like that. Like, in the more mature games, you see that the female demographic is portrayed more as a sex symbol than anything. And I think it is pretty stupid to say that all female characters in games have to have some sort of shown titillation or some sort of shown body part to appease the male demographic. And I say that's bullshit. You can have a female in power armor and I wouldn't care. You can have a female in scantily clad bikini, I wouldn't care because I know she's a female. I don't need to see her in a very seductive pose all the fucking time. Okay? But here are some characters that I thought. Well, first of all, before I do that, let me explain some characters they always try to bring up. Princess Peach, Princess Zelda, any of the characters from Dead or Alive, Mai Shuriami, god damn it, Mai from Metal Fury, and most of the characters from that game, because they always bring up these characters as the damsel in distress. They're always underpowered by the male demographic. They're always like just sex symbols for the male eye. And I say that's bullcrap. At least in fighting games, it's justified. Even if they aren't scantily clad, they can still kick the ass of a guy who looks like a goddamn tank from Left 4 Dead. But here's some females that I find that can be a great against argument for. What about Chun-Li, huh? She could kick my ass 21 ways to Tuesday. And then some. She's a very good female character. And she's actually well developed, even if she does have the physique of a character that you would want to say it's just eye candy for the male demographic. What about her, huh? Agent Quo from Infamous 2. Even if Infamous isn't a game that's so mainstream, she's still a good put together female character. She has her own personality. She isn't a damsel in distress. She has wicked awesome ice powers. What about her? Huh? Alex Vance, one of the most credited best female characters. Because not only does she interact more than the main character, she is what makes the setting of Half-Life so enjoyable. Because she's such a character that brings the environment to life, and you see how she reacts to everything. Lara Croft from Tomb Raider, the classic definition of an action girl female character. Like, I'm not... Tifa Lockhart. Yes, I'm pretty sure she kind of has the level of boundaries between eye candy and action girl, but she's still an action girl. I'm just saying, if you're going to go on a tantrum about all of these negative things in gaming about the female demographic, at least look on the positives. Looking at the negatives so negatively will always bring negativity. If you want us to move ahead in the gaming industry, stop complaining about the bad things. And most of the feminists never bring up the arguments of these characters. This character is good. This character is bad. And look, I understand that games like this sell, okay? They're going to sell. Just look at it. Look, it's going to sell to the male demographic. I understand a game like that's going to sell. I understand that. But you can't look at all femaledom like this in gaming, because that makes you just as bad as the males. There are good characters, just like I said, from here. And that's Ivy from Soul Calibur. That's a character I forgot to mention, because she is kind of an argument for the feminists to say that all females are sexualized. Yeah, she's sexualized, but again, she has a whole Chun-Li thing going. She can kick my ass 21 ways to Tuesday and slice me to ribbons. She can at least fend for herself. That's what I think a good female character is. Good personality, they're able to fend for themselves, and they're not just this item to be stolen every now and again. So, that's just my take on this whole feminist thing. I do agree that there are female characters out there. I'm not going to act like there are not female characters out there who are just eye candy. That's ignorant. You male gamers need to wake up and not blast feminists just because they say something that you may just want to ignore. No, it exists. There are female characters in every form of fucking medium, not just gaming, who are just eye candy. And this is just me saying, whatever you think, that's your opinion. This is just my opinion. I'm even on both sides. I do agree and I do disagree on some points. But I do try to stay level-headed. This is GMC. This is my first rant of 2014. Goodbye.